Hey, what's up you guys? It's Tati and I'm back with another video. This time is the results to AEW All Out, and you guys, I don't even know where to begin. First of all, I want to say this before I get into the results. I just hate this internet shit where they ruin things to the point where you can't enjoy pro wrestling because there's all these rumors and all these things. Nobody is doing things in a way where people could just be thoroughly surprised about someone returning, about something happening. It's all about such and such is happening, and it just ruins the fun for everything. And with how things been going lately, part of like my enjoyment for the pay-per-view died down a bit because it was very predictable. Certain things I was just like over it. Certain matches I was like I don't even really care about anymore because it was like it just seemed like almost everything I said would happen. And you know, it's okay to have certain things happen that might be predictable, but it was just too many things where it was just like, oh man, this is just not as fun. But there were a lot of great moments with this pay-per-view though. So you guys know that there was so much going on with this pay-per-view as far as matches go. I think altogether it was like, I want to say 16, something like that. It was way too much. No, 16 sound like too much. Maybe it was 14. I'm not really sure, but it was a lot going on. So I had to take notes throughout this thing so I could just remember what was going on. We first started with the show with Sammy and Ty Conti just talking backstage, and all of a sudden, they get ambushed by Ruby and Ortiz. Basically what happened is that Ortiz and Ruby was on a what do you call those things, golf cart, and end up hitting Sammy with the golf cart, and he was bleeding, and basically started the match from backstage. So you know, obviously it's not official until they get in the ring and the bell is rung, but it was pretty predictable. Sammy and Tay end up winning this. They did have help with Anna Jay, which I completely forgot about being a factor here. And towards the end of the match, right before the finish, something happens to Ruby's nose. I don't know what it is, but she was holding on to it. And after Ty had pinned her for the win, Ty actually, you know, signaled to the referee to take a look at Ruby, see what was going on. So I don't know what was going on there, but most likely something was up happened to her nose. I don't know if it's broken or anything, but you know, that was pretty predictable. I could not see it turning out that Ruby and Ortiz would win this. After that, we had Hook versus Angelo Parker, and I was wrong about something. I thought this match would actually go up to like 10 minutes. It was actually 3 minutes, and Hook obviously ended up taking the win. Nothing special about this at all. After the match, Matt Menard did, you know, came and attacked Hook from behind, and Action Bronson, who is the guy who does the rap for Hook's theme song, he got involved and helped Hook at the end, which I think was unnecessary, but I don't know, I guess it was cool for some people. After that was Kit versus Pac. This match here was okay. I did expect a lot better from these two. It did seem like Pac was tired or fatigued or whatnot, and I don't know if they're just doing that on purpose for storyline purposes or whatnot, because Kip hasn't been in the ring for a very long time, so he would be really fresh coming into this ring. But Pac did end up taking this win, and it was very interesting to see how right after that, Tony Schiavone had a, you know, a quick little interview with Pac, and out of the blue, Orange Cassidy interrupts him, and Orange looks like he's ready to get that title, and Pac basically said, get your ass to the back of the fucking line. You know, we've been through things before in the past. You're not getting this title from me at all. Last match on the 0 hour on YouTube was the Eddie Kingston versus Ishii, and I'm gonna tell you guys, there was like maybe 100 chops in this match, and I got bored with it, to be completely honest with you. It's typical Eddie, typical Ishii, and it's like, we've seen this before. I don't like feeling like I'm seeing the same shit. Anyway, Eddie ends up taking the win on this match. try to give some respect to Ishii after the match, but Ishii was not taking it at all. But the crowd did cheer for them both, and it was nothing special. So to start the main pay-per-view, we started off with the casino ladder match, which I was kind of surprised about. We started off with a two-competitor as Wheeler Yuta and Rey Fenix. Right off the bat, these two were just going crazy. And then at some point, there was a tope suicida to Rey Fenix from the outside of the ring onto a ladder. The next person to come in was Roosh, and he came in like ready to, you know, get into this match. And I thought that it was really interesting that Roosh and Andrade would be in this match because obviously they'll be helping one another in this match. Now, when Roosh came out, he's so busy taking off his clothes that Wheeler Yuta is basically almost at the top of this ladder, and Rey had to snap out of it and get up there and get Wheeler down, you know, to keep him from winning. So, you know, this match here was very, very strange. So after we had Roosh come out, then Andrade. So now you got Roosh and Andrade teaming up against Wheeler and Phoenix, right? And then after that, Claudio comes out. Then Dante. Then Penta. So now we have everybody but the Joker out. So obviously people are waiting, and they were already feeling like it's going to be MJF. Most people, some people, like I said before in the prediction video, that it may be Darius Martin, which I was like, hell no, not him at all. So out of the blue, a group of guys wearing all black came out and started attacking all the competitors in this match. And then someone goes up onto the ladder and, you know, take the chip down. And at first I was like, who the hell is that? And now I know they did this, it's just so weird, but they did it in a way where it was Stokely Hathaway that went up there to get the damn chip, right? And I think they did it in a way to kind of like trick you in a way, because you saw somebody with obviously black hands, so that would keep you from thinking that it's MJF or somebody you know, that everyone is predicting it would be. But once he got it down, someone else comes out and they have a full mask on, some weird looking mask or whatever. And that person pretended they was going to take the mask off, but didn't. So it was a big tease to who that could be. And I was like, I hope we don't have to wait until Dynamite to find out who it is. And they left, and that was it. And I was like, yo, this sucks ass right now if that's how they're going to do it. And we have to wait to see who the Joker was. So I did not like how that ended, but I was still curious to see where they were going with it, and maybe by the end of the night, if they would, you know, let people know who the Joker was. So unfortunately, that match did not really end at all, since there was interference, and that interference helped the Joker win. Alright, and next up we had the trios match, which I was not expecting to be second. So obviously it's the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega versus the Dark Order, along with Hangman Adam Page. Now you guys, this was actually a pretty good match, but I have to say this, like, just knowing that Young Bucks and Kenny was going to win was very disappointing from the jump. But this was still an opportunity for you know, Dark Order to go over. You know, yeah, they're like fan favorites, but they have not had any really big opportunities in this company. This being like the biggest opportunity that they've ever had in this company. Will they get a rematch or something? Honestly, I really don't see it. I see them like going to the back of the line. I do see that they may continue something with Hangman, you know, some type of feud or whatever with them, even though they're a trio. But very disappointing to see them win this. Like, Tony Khan should have made the right decision and give this to Dark Order. Like, they've been there from the beginning, and it almost feels like politics plays a part into this. Like, you know, Kenny, yeah, he's probably one of the biggest stars in AEW, and he's hold the biggest gold in the company. Then you have the Young Bucks, who you know, who's had executive roles in the company and also been tag team champions actually twice, the only team to have it twice. and now they're holding trios gold over people who've never even had that type of opportunity. I feel like that is just absolutely crazy, and I just did not like that. But it was still a great match. Towards the end, we had John Silver holding Kenny Omega, and unfortunately Hangman ends up giving John Silver a buckshot lariat, getting the win for the Elite. Very disappointing outcome, but the match was actually great. After that, we had Athena versus Jade. You guys, I was over it, to be honest. I was a little disappointed. I was like, man, Athena, I mean, I don't know what it is. Probably, like I said, because Jade doesn't have like the experience like a lot of other girls do have. So this match did not come out that great to me. I was bored. Already knew what was going to happen. Jade is 37-0 now. Next match was FTR Wardlow versus Motor City Machine Guns, and Jay Lethal was over it as well. Towards the end of this match, you already know FTR and Wardlow end up getting this win. You guys, if you can't tell, I'm over it. I really am. We had Samoa Joe actually returning, who took out Satnam Singh, and also had Dax Harwood's daughter come in and actually pinned Sanjay Dutt. So that was kind of fun to see, but like I said, over it. Wardlow, take that title and defend it. That's all I care about from this point. After that, we had Hobbs versus Ricky, and to be completely honest with you, after watching Rampage, so I watched Rampage after I did my prediction video, and I was like, dang, Ricky not going into this match fresh, you know. What was I say, Wardlow, Hobbs, I don't remember last time I saw him in the ring wrestling. It's been a little bit, so it's like, to be honest, Ricky was basically not doing so great in this match. Hobbs ended up taking this win with a devastating spine buster. It was absolutely crazy, and I don't know where they're going with this. Obviously they're going to continue this feud, I'm sure, but Ricky, yeah, I was a little disappointed. I was expecting a lot more for this match. Now on to my favorite match of the night, which is Swerve and Our Glory versus The Acclaim. You guys, this was really fun. This is what woke me up a little bit. Like, if I was bored, this is what took me out of that funk. This was a really great match. I was not expecting this at all. So during this match, like, both of these teams, they're like faces, but for whatever reason, you know, Acclaim has been getting really popular, especially with all this Scissor Me Daddy shit and all that stuff. Like, they're kind of cool, you know. But, you know, it was weird to see how Lee and Swerve were just getting booed. There were so, you know, there were like chants, right? So there was like you can't scissor chants, or we want scissor chants, like that. It was just so awkward. And you know how they say, oh, bask in his glory? They would say, oh, scissor me daddy. It was so strange, but funny at the same time. And let me tell you, these guys, they all gave it their all in this match, and I absolutely love this match. This was like the funnest moment throughout the pay-per-view, where everyone was really engaged, aside from the main event. This was like this is what my best moment throughout the whole pay-per-view. Not necessarily the best match maybe, but definitely very fun. So we did end up seeing Swerve and Keith Lee winning this match, so they retained the titles, which was expected. But I'm telling you, man, throughout this whole match, Bowen's knee was just giving out or whatnot. I don't know if they're playing on that, since Strickland had made comments about it on Rampage, but it was really interesting to see that play out throughout the match. And I'm telling you, man, these two here in the Acclaim, they are really good. If people were writing them out before this, they proved it tonight. They're a very good team. And after that match, after they won, Keith Lee, I was actually like, you know, putting his fingers out to like scissor Billy Gunn, and he actually did it, and the crowd booed the hell out of them. So I'm very interested to see where that goes from now. So next up was the women's interim championships match, and like I said, it was not to replace Thunder Rosa. This is an interim championship match, so this is somebody who's just going to be champion temporarily. And this is another one where I kind of was like, already knew what was going to happen. Obviously Toni Storm was going to take the win, but I wanted to see how things was going to fare out in this match. So it was very similar at sometimes to the tag team match that they had on Dynamite, where, you know, Jamie and Britt were team up and Sheeta and Storm would team up as well. So we kept seeing that here and there, but then obviously it's everyone for themselves. So at some point the doctors end up taking Sheeta to the back, like she was going to be able to continue this match. To be honest, it didn't really even seem like she was really hurt. So I believe it was Britt who did like a curb stomp onto like her face onto the entrance ramp, and then all of a sudden the doctors and the ref were just taking her to the back. Like, it was like, okay, did y'all plan this shit? This is just so weird. So they took her to the back for a little bit. Then we had Jamie and Britt obviously teaming together on basically what was like a tag team match against Toni Storm. And then Sheeta comes back, and all four of them are back in the match now, and it's just going absolutely crazy. They're going back and forth or whatever. And like I said from the beginning, I already knew Toni was gonna win. And at some point we get like, you know, a little rift between Britt and Jamie, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. You know, honestly, it would have been really nice to see Jamie win this, because we really want to see some homegrown talent, you know, holding gold. I'm tired of seeing like people who just came from WWE or whatever, you know, getting gold. It just seemed like that's a little bit of a trend right now, and I know that helps by bringing other people over to watch the product, but I just feel like like you guys can't continuously do that. Like, the homegrown talent, they need a little bit of something too. So that right there was a little bit disappointing, but I'm happy for Toni Storm to win it, but I would have preferred Jamie to win it. And so definitely there's going to be a feud going on with Jamie and Britt. Wouldn't be surprised if it probably did not happen, because there's times where it seemed like they may have a little bit of issues, but it goes absolutely nowhere. Alright, so on to one of my other favorite parts of the night was Christian versus Jungle Boy. Now, oh my gosh, I said this in my last video, but Christian's one of my favorite wrestlers. Actually, I would say he's number 2 on my list. And I just love the way he is as a character. Like, heel Christian is the best. Like, obviously the best. So we start off that Christian comes out and he's over there taunting Jungle Boy's sister and mom. Jungle Boy's mom give him a big slap across the face, and he just brushes off it and goes back into the ring. Then Jungle Boy music hit, and he's celebrating and basically looking all happy, you know, he's gonna win or whatever. And he doesn't even get down the ramp at all, and out of the blue, Luchasaurus attacks him. I've been saying it, like, you can just tell the changes that Luchasaurus has been making, that something was gonna happen. And he ends up attacking him, and I believe it was a choke slam onto this, like, the steel grate that's like right there where the pyro comes out of. And oh my gosh, it was absolutely crazy. Well, Luchasaurus brings him into the ring. No, actually, before he brings him to the ring, he slams him onto the table, like where the doctor sits at. So Luchasaurus was just giving it to him, and Christian is in the ring just, you know, like, whatever, like nothing even mattered. He's just waiting for Luchasaurus to bring him in the ring so the bell can ring and get his pin. So Luchasaurus brings him into the ring, and the ref is like, hey, can you do this? And he's like, yes. So as soon as the bell rings, out of the blue, Christian just gives him a spear, and he is down. 1, 2, lifts his shoulder up, and I was really surprised. I thought he was just gonna lay there, and he gets up, and Christian hits him with a kill switch, and it's over. So I'm very interested to see where that goes. I just love it. Like, the way Christian is as a heel is absolutely perfect. People, take notes. So the next match is Bryan versus the Lionheart, Chris Jericho. And I have to say that this is the most technical match on the whole fucking card. You want to see wrestling, this is the match to watch. To be completely honest with you, this match has made me realize how versatile Chris Jericho is. One minute you see him doing some crazy shit with Eddie Kingston, and then he is just back to his roots with Bryan in this ring, and it's just so beautiful. Like, if you're really looking at the technical aspects of wrestling, like, these two are prime examples. And like I said, Chris Jericho is so versatile. He's really, really great. However, he's a heel, so he's going to do things that heels do. So this match was submission after submission. It was just really, really cool. Kept you on your toes, and I really appreciate the effort in this match. One of my favorites definitely on this whole card. But Chris Jericho, you know, there's a whole feud going on here. So obviously we knew that he's going to end up doing something to cheat, as Daniel Garcia puts it. So he ends up giving Bryan a low blow while the ref wasn't looking, and end up hitting the Judas effect and taking the win. And Jericho Appreciation Society comes out, and they're, you know, celebrating with him. And surprisingly, they didn't get in the ring and jump Bryan. And then you see from backstage Daniel Garcia looking at the TV screen, and he's just shaking his head in disgust, like he don't want to have nothing to do with them. So I really find that interesting that, you know, he was not part of that celebration, obviously because he favors both wrestlers. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho is taking that as in, you not there to celebrate my win, then, you know, then you're probably against me, you know. So that makes sense. Next match was House of Black versus Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it just was what it was. And Darby, Sting, and Miro ends up taking this match. I did end up taking this win, excuse me. And I found it interesting that Sting actually used a miss onto Malachi Black. So this feud is definitely going to continue. But I'm bored with it. I really am. To be completely honest, I don't want to see Miro or Darby or Sting right now. House of Black get into that trios picture. That's what I want to see. Absolutely. I don't want to see these weird little storylines or whatever. They're better than that. So right after that match, we have Garcia and Jericho backstage talking, and basically Jericho just being upset that Garcia wasn't by his side, and they announced how he's going to go against Wheeler Yuta again for the ROH Pure Championship, and that he will not be beside Garcia during that match since he wasn't there for him. Alright y'all, on to the main event. Let me just say this, okay? I am not wearing this shirt so I can celebrate that CM Punk won this match. I just grabbed this, and almost all my shirts in my closet are black, and this just happened to be what I grabbed. But anyway, I'm very, very upset that CM Punk won this match. Really, I was hoping for Moxley based on how things has been going. Like I said, Moxley been holding it down. You know, this past summer while CM Punk was gone. And I just hate that hot potato shit where it's just like, oh, you have the title. No, now I have it. Now you have it. It's like, what the fuck? 2 weeks ago, you lost it, and they give it right back to you. The match wasn't bad. And to be completely honest with you, like, I know that after that last match that they had, you know, with CM Punk losing in like, what, 3 to 5 minutes, they had to carry it on this time, especially being in Chicago. You had what seemed like the whole crowd was going to be behind him, but it seemed a little bit of divide between Moxley and CM Punk. You know, so they both had people who were cheering them on. And I was like, damn, man, like everything seems to be going into CM Punk's favor. Now, if that foot is really fucked up and he's not going to be able to, you know, work it, then this might not be such a great match, and it might be shorter than what I would hope it would be. I didn't really keep track on how long the match was, but it was way longer than I thought it would be. Within 3 minutes, already hit a GTX to Moxley, which I was not expecting. They ended up having part of the match out in the crowd. I was not expecting that as well. So that's another way for them to kind of show that CM Punk is okay, because he's moving around a lot and didn't really seem to be struggling. Now towards the middle of the match is when we see Moxley like, oh, remember his foot is fucked up, let me work on that. And that's when we start seeing, you know, CM Punk struggle a little bit. You know, like I would say like the first half of the match, CM Punk was looking a little bit, you know, better than Moxley. And to be completely honest with you, like I just hated how it ended with 2 GTSs to Moxley. And he ends up winning this title. I was just like, what the hell? When ref went 3, I was like, what? Did his hand hit the mat? What? I just couldn't believe it. It just didn't make sense. When you just think about the storyline, how it goes, wouldn't want that. Like, that's not the outcome that I was expecting. He didn't even have to lose it at all for all of this. However, only one thing makes this whole thing makes a little bit sense. So, right after winning, the lights go off. And we hear talking, which I think it was Tony Khan's voice, I'm thinking, not 100% sure. And he's having a conversation with somebody who's saying, oh, well, you've been gone for a couple of months. You know, I need you to come back and whatever, some shit like that. And then out of the blue, we see the Joker. And the Joker turns around and take off the mask. Right when you take off the mask, even from the back of his fucking head, you can tell it's MJF. Like, he just got that look from even the back. And right there, he takes the scarf and he puts it behind him, because everything you see is from the back. And he puts the scarf on, and you just hear the whole crowd just marking the fuck out. Everybody is excited, MJF, MJF. But he never turns around. Then it goes black again. You don't see anything. Then boom, his music hit and he actually comes out. He doesn't really say anything other than gesture that, you know, that title is going to be on him. And I like MJF. Absolutely, really, really like him. The only thing is that I hate that we all knew this before it even happened. I just hate how the element of surprise is gone in pro wrestling. Like, really, like, these dirt sheets feel like it's absolutely imperative to go out and say so and so is this and that is happening, and just rip the heart and soul out of pro wrestling. Like, I literally want to see something and be genuinely surprised. You know, back in the 90s when I started watching wrestling, yeah, the internet was around, but we didn't have all this stuff where it's like you knew something before it happened. Only way you knew about something was commentators from WCW running their mouth about a taped episode of Raw. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you knew something. But it, you know, other than that, now it's like you, with a click of a button, you can just read certain things. And it's absolutely weird, and I just hate that, because it takes the fun out of everything. I know I'm just rambling right now, but as a wrestling fan, like, part of the fun is being surprised. Part of the fun is, you know, that predictability not being in the picture. This is why people sometimes don't like to watch, because when you already know what's going to happen, per se, and just all you gotta do is just tune in just to actually see it happen, it takes the fun away. Like, if people weren't saying all these things about MJF or whatnot, you know, I don't know. The pay-per-view, I'm gonna say this, it was okay. They've had better pay-per-views, but it was a good, what, 5 hours of sitting down here and watching. Like I said, certain things were too predictable for me to enjoy, but I do recommend still watching it if you're like into the storylines and stuff like that. This is more like a filler pay-per-view, where it's like, you know, other things to come, and this pay-per-view is like right in between some certain types of changes and things that's going to be going on moving forward. It was a long paper review, but hey, it's wrestling and I love it. And I can't wait to see what happens on Dynamite. Guys, thanks for watching.